the next, hour and a bit that we share together, this is your time. You've all shown up here today because you want to be the best version of yourself. You wouldn't come to something like this if you didn't have that desire to be the best you. So I honor you for honoring yourself to show up. So please feel free to use this space for you guys. Sound good? So everyone raise their right hand really high, like not like this, really high. This is how you ask questions if you need to, but I want to ask you guys a couple of questions before we get started. So leave your hand up. Leave your hand up if in the past you have felt peer pressured to maybe drink alcohol or do drugs or something like that from someone else, any sort of peer pressure. Okay. There's about a few that put their hand down, lots that left them up. Okay, cool. Everyone put their hand back up. Leave your hand up if you have done something that you knew wasn't your truth and you did it anyway just to people please. Everyone, okay, so you're all in the right place. And leave your hand up if you would like to learn how to live in alignment with your truth. Awesome, you're all in the right place. Beautiful. Well, today, people email me in the topics that they want me to talk about. A lot of them come from my own experience and what I want to share as well, but it's very intuitive. And some people email me in saying, can you please talk about this? So if you guys have anything that you want me to talk about, please email me at hello@melissaambrosini.com and I will do my best to cover it. But the topic that was emailed into me was a common thing that I was like, no, I don't really feel like that's not pulling me right now to talk about. And then it kept on coming and coming and coming. And it was about today is all about how to quit alcohol and live in alignment with your truth. And this was something that was are you guys going, yeah, right, we're in the right place? Yeah. So there's no mistake that you guys are here and you're listening to this talk today. So this was something that was repeatedly emailed into me to talk about, and I was like, right, okay, I've got to talk about it. And now I want to be super clear first. This is not me saying that you all have to go do this. I want to share my journey with you and share how this has evolved for me into being the person that I am today. So basically, 6 years ago, I quit alcohol. I have not had a sip of alcohol in 6 years, not a sip. And I was a serious party girl, full-on party girl, completely different life to what I live now. My whole life revolved around alcohol, drugs, and the outfit that I was going to wear on Saturday night. And it took me ending up in hospital in 2010 for me to really start to work on my health. And the doctors said to me, like, you've got to sort yourself out. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'll just drink maybe once a week. And I wasn't an alcoholic, or not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying I loved to party. And when I was younger. And the doctor said to me, like, you've got to really sort yourself out. And I was like, okay. So I was like, I'm going to quit for 3 months. And it was about October in 2010, and it was going into summer. There was parties. There was so many things happening. And I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, this is going to be incredibly hard. And the first couple of months was quite challenging for me. And then what happened was I got to 3 months and I felt so good within myself that I was like, oh, I'll just go another month. And then I'll just go another month. And then I'll just go another month. And it's been 6 years. And this isn't necessarily about stopping drinking. This is about stopping people pleasing, stopping doing things that aren't aligned to your truth. Because every time you say yes to someone else when you really mean no, that builds resentment. It's like you plant a little tiny seed of resentment, and then that seed grows. So what today is all about is learning how to live in alignment with your truth. And I want to touch on the topic of alcohol because a lot of women ask me about this. So does that sound good? So I grew up in a house where I watched my mum be a gold medalist people pleaser. She was amazing at it. And this was something that I learned and picked up over the years, but it gave me chronic fatigue and put me in hospital. And it's something that I had to unlearn, and it's something that so many women do. We're so good at it. Who's really good at people pleasing? Yeah. But what that does is it essentially, when we say yes to someone else and we really mean no, it builds this resentment. So today I'm going to give you 3 little tips of what's really helped me live in alignment with my truth over the years. And then we're going to open it up to your stories and any questions that you guys have. Because this is a topic that is so prominent in women, especially younger girls, and we don't have to live like this. When we live in alignment with our truth, life becomes so much more rewarding and joyful, and so much more fun. So I want everyone to just think about a moment in their life, like thinking back in their past, a moment where they said yes to, you can use alcohol if you want, but you can find something else. Maybe it was any other situation where you said yes, where you really meant no. And I want you to write that down for me and write down how you felt in your body. So go ahead and do that now. It could be maybe you said yes to someone at work, or helping someone out, or it could be to do with drinking and partying or something like that. Think of a time in your life where you have said yes when you really meant no, and how that felt in your body. And if you've got a couple, you could write them down too. So think of times. That you did something that wasn't true for you. How did that feel in your body? Did you feel contracted? Did you feel like suffocated? Did you feel tight? Did you feel heavy? And the reason why I get you to write all of this down is because awareness is key. Once you are aware of these habits or things that you do, we can then change them. But if we just keep it up in our head and we kind of don't get crystal clear clarity on it, it then can just be wishy-washy, and we don't really know how to take action. So what we want to do is get really clear on the areas. And then when you're finished, just look up so I know who's finished and who's still writing. Do you want to share one of yours?
Mine is mainly about agreeing to do things when you're really time pressured and you need that space to do whatever it is for some emotional peace, and just trying to please everybody, and so you feel stressed and harassed and tired.
Yeah, beautiful. Who can relate to that? Everyone. Do you want to share one of yours?
Mine is similar. It's just doing something with a friend, which would be lovely normally, but feeling anxious and irritated and resentful actually, because you've said yes, so you're going to do it, but you actually just needed to be restful and be home.
Yes.
You felt like you couldn't do that. because you haven't seen them for a long time, or you haven't spent any time with them lately. But then you sort of wreck it for yourself because you're annoyed and irritated when you go and do it.
Yeah, so then what happens is you show up as like this shitty, cranky version of you, and then that person feels that, because they do feel it. Energetically, they can feel it. And then you're both just kind of having this half-assed, shitty, inauthentic experience because no one's fully there. So, you know, it's really about being in alignment with your truth in every moment. And it builds, like you literally, I'm such a visual person. Like every time I do it, I visualize a seed being planted, a seed of resentment being planted. And then the more you do it, that seed just grows and grows and grows. And it feels gross, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I want to hear one of yours.
Pretty similar to other girls who do it when a friend asks for help and you need to do it, can't remember with it. You need to put that time into yourself, but you spend it with them, helping them, and then you feel resentful and angry that you haven't been able to nurture yourself.
Yes. Yeah. What about you?
Mine's maybe when to leave. Like if you're somewhere and you've had a really enjoyable, you've had a really enjoyable time, and it becomes to the end of the night and you're feeling really tired, and I find it really hard to say I need to leave. I always feel really bad, and recently I've started saying I need to leave, and I always leave a lot happier, and the time has been brilliant that you've had.
Beautiful.
Stepping away when you know you need, when you just like, oh, I'm really tired and I've had a fabulous night, thanks so much. And
Yeah.
Head off. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. What about you?
This is similar to you, saying yes to catching up with friends and going out for dinner when you really need that time to yourself.
Yep.
I felt really heavy and restricted and defeated.
Yes.
And showing up really shitty.
Yeah, exactly. Does anyone have any different situations? Like these are all very similar. Does anyone have any? Yes.
Saying no to your mum.
Saying no to your mum. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
You grow up thinking that they know everything and you've got to do everything they say, and it's not until you get a little bit older and you're like, well, actually, no, we don't have to agree on everything, and your opinion and my opinion can be different. It's, you're not right or wrong, and I'm not right or wrong.
Yes. You've been watching the Goddess Group on demand, haven't you? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Does anyone else have any different ones? Yes.
I guess putting time into a relationship that I knew wasn't going anywhere. So I'd be spending time, like part of me was hopeful, but I knew that it wasn't right, but I'd still go and be shitty and resentful to the person, and in the hope that he'd eventually want me.
Who can relate to that one? Yes. Okay, any others that were, yes.
Well, mine is alcohol related.
Yep.
So, end of last year, Christmas parties, work Christmas parties. I was 18 still, so obviously it's expected that 18-year-olds go out and they party.
Sorry. Whose expectation?
I guess, my belief of what society expects.
Yes.
And I just felt this pressure to go to these Christmas parties so that all of these people that I knew and felt like I needed to be accepted by would accept me. But in reality, I was being really constricted. My body was saying no, and so I wasn't being my authentic self at these parties. So I wasn't even showing these people my true self. So even if they liked that version of me, it wasn't really me. Exactly.
It's the shitty, what I was saying here, it's the shitty half-assed version of you. And no one deserves that, They deserve the full, authentic, unique you, because you're amazing. But when we say yes to other people when we really mean no, we're showing up. Yeah. So who else has one like similar to that? Yeah. Okay. Any other different ones? Yes.
I've got one is when someone says something really hurtful, and by not saying that you've hurt my feelings, you're actually saying yes to what they said.
Yes.
And you're so resentful and so hurt when you really should have said, that's actually really hurt my feelings, and spoken up.
Absolutely. That's a really good example. Yep, speaking your truth. And that's the first thing, the first point that I want you all to remember is that we've always got to do what's true for us. We've always got to do what's true for us, because when we don't, we are denying that other person and ourselves a true, authentic experience. Does that make sense? Who else has some other different ones? Sarah! Yes, pick me!
It's a bit different in structure to saying yes to something and then resenting it later. It's more thinking that you can do everything yourself and that you should, and then getting really resentful when no one helps you.
Who can relate to that?
It's sort of like, notice that I'm really stressed right now and just offer your help without me asking it.
Yes. It's very similar to this situation, you know. It's like not speaking your truth and then expecting them to know how you feel or what's going on for you. They can't read our minds. Like, you know, sometimes I look at my husband and I'm like, but don't you just know? And he's like, babe, I've got no idea what's going on. I'm like, but you should just be able to read my mind. They can't. They literally cannot read our minds. Neither can your friends or anyone for that matter. Does anyone else have any other different ones? Or yes?
Mine's related to work.
Yep.
So I work sort of project to project, and things like straight off the bat that I really didn't engage me, but I thought I should do it. I have to say yes to everything. And it's like straight away, it was a disaster from start to finish. And you come back and you feel so frustrated and like you've wasted your time. And you don't sort of want to see those people again or work with them again, when I should have just said no to begin with.
And it's not about saying no. You can say no, thank you. Like, that's okay. Because when you actually say no, thank you, you're allowing that person to have a real authentic, aligned experience as well. But we all walk around going, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I should do this. And what that does is just we're all walking around as the not authentic versions of ourselves by doing that. And to live in alignment with our truth, we have to speak our truth and say yes to ourselves. And we have to communicate that. Crystal clear communication with people is imperative. Does anyone else have any others that they want to? Yes.
Saying no to my kids.
Yeah.
Because you kind of get better at saying no to other people, and then you've got these two beautiful little beings that you've created, and they're saying that they want to play or they want to do something, and you say yes because you should be doing everything with your kids, but part of me is saying, I don't really want to do that right now. So it's not that I don't want to do it at all, but mommy doesn't want to play hide and seek right now.
24/7. I don't want to watch Thomas the Tank Engine again. Yeah. I feel like there's a little bit of a common thread interwoven with a few people, and that is the word should. For those of you who have read my book, there's 3 words that are eliminated from my vocabulary and my husband's and my little boys, and one of them is the word should. Another one is can't, and another one is busy. But should is so powerful because our words are affirmations, and every time we say something or think something, we're affirming it. So we all go around and we say these beautiful affirmations. If you've got my book, I've got loads of amazing affirmations in there. But then we wake up and we're like affirming, oh, I look like crap, I look like crap. That's an affirmation. And whatever you are saying to yourself, I'm always tired, I'm always busy, I never have money. They're the 3 most common. I'm always tired, I'm always tired, my back's always sore. You know, that's one that I said to myself for years. My back is always sore. I always had a sore back till I stopped saying it. Then it went away. No joke. But our words are so powerful. Our thoughts are powerful. Our words are even more like powerful. When you say these things, it is just like so enhanced. So be very careful of the shoulds and the expectations, because you don't have to do anything that isn't true for you. And this is the first point that I want to talk to you guys about, is always do what's true for you. Always. And if it's not true for you to play hide and go seek all day long, then just communicate that. You know, it's just about crystal clear communication with everyone in these situations, whether it's to do with alcohol or work or your kids or your partner or your boss. Crystal clear communication with how you're truly feeling is essentially how we're going to live in alignment with our truth. But we're so scared. We're so scared to speak our truth because we're scared of judgment. We're scared of being vulnerable. Our mean girl tells us that they'll never invite us anywhere again, or that, I don't know, that you have to say yes, otherwise they'll fire you, or your kids will hate you, or whatever it is. But we've really got to live in alignment with our truth, because when we do, we allow everyone else around us to also live in alignment with their truth.